Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we're going to present a creative report for rendering technique for graphic design. We are from group 6 and we consist of 4 members. The first one is Izzat Shamim. The second member is Ainuddin Asyraf. The third one is Wan Ali Hakimi. And the last one is myself, Muhammad Mukhlis. What is rendering technique? Rendering techniques for graphic design enhance sketches by adding depth, texture, and realism using techniques like shading, highlighting, and coloring. It utilizes tools like pencils, markers, and blending stamps to create polished, detailed visual for clear idea communication. Let's move on to the next part, which is materials and tools. Number 1, we have pencils. Graphite pencils ranging from hard H to soft B, grades for detailed line work and shading. Number 2, we have technical pens. Fine tip ink pens for precise lines and intricate details. Number 3, we have random marker. Alcohol-based marker for vibrant colors and smooth. And number 4, we have colored pencil for adding color nuance and layering effects. And for number 5, we have charcoal, ideal for rich, deep blacks and expressive shading. For number 6, we have erasers, kneaded erasers for subtle correction and highlighting. For number 7, we have drawing paper, high quality acid-free paper sub-table for various mediums. And the last one, we have Bristol board, smooth, heavyweight paper ideal for ink and marker renderings.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Izzat bin Muhammad Nazri. My number metric is 09DRJ23F1069. I will talk about type of sketch and technique in rendering technique. First is hatching. Hatching is an artistic technique used to create tonal or shading effect by drawing or painting and scribbling closely spaced parallel line. When lines are placed at an angle to one another, it is called cross-hatching. Hatching is also sometimes used to encode colors in monochromatic representation of color image, particularly in hieroglyphs. Second is cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is a method of line drawing that describes light and shadow. The representation of light utilizes the wide or openness of the page, while shadow is created by a density of cross lines. Number 3 is stippling. Stripping is a mark-making technique used in both drawing and painting to replicate light and shadow using little dots. You may have already seen artists use little dots to create work of art like Impressionists George Seurat, Paul Signac, or Camille Pissarro. Number 4 is scribbling. Scribbling in art refers to a painting technique that involves applying a thin layer of painting with a dry brush and a loose hand over an existing layer. The idea is to allow parts of the already existing paint below to remain exposed. Number 5 is scribbling. The scribble art is the most simple form of art. A scribble is a drawing composed of random lines, making some movement without lifting the pencil from the papers. Scribbling is almost commonly done by toddlers. Sometimes adults also does scribbling when they are bored, happy, or taking over a phone. Children like to scribble because it gives them a chance to move their arms free. The act of scribble is purely imaginative. After that, I will talk about the rendering technique. Rendering technique have 6 technique. First is pencil rendering. Pencil rendering is used pencil to create soft texture and detail shading. Ideal for preliminary sketch and concept art. Number 2 is marker rendering. Popular in fashion, illustration, and industrial design for bold and clean looks. Number 3, watercolor rendering. Use watercolor for soft flowing effect and natural blends. Number 4, digital rendering. Common for 3D models, product designs, and digital paintings. Number 5, ink rendering. Employ ink pens or brushes for crisp line and detailed texture. Number 6, airbrush rendering. Use airbrush tools to create smooth gradient and textures. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aino Daniel Asyraf bin Azizul Aswadi, number matric 09DRG23F1003, and I will be presenting color in rendering technique. The first one is shading models. Shading model, also known as a lighting model or rendering model, is a mathematical algorithm or set of rules used in computer graphics to mimic how light interacts with surfaces in a 3D scene. The next one is ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion is a shading and rendering technique used in 3D graphics, modeling, and animation. It calculates how exposed each point on the surface of an object is to ambient lighting, allowing for the simulation of soft shadows and the approximation of the effect of the indirect lighting. The next one is color mapping. Color mapping or color transfer methods aim to recolor a given image or video by deriving a mapping between that image and another image, serving as a reference. Methods for recoloring image have often appeared under the labels of color correction, color transfer, or color balancing. That's how you can look. This is the color schemes. The next one is color space. A color space is a model which can be used to represent as many colors as our vision system can possibly perceive. The range of possible colors that can be represented by a particular system is called the gamut. The various colors which can be obtained by all the possible combinations of all the light colors from the visible spectrum. The next one is color bleeding. Color bleeding is the phenomenon in which objects or surfaces are colored by reflection of color light from nearby surfaces. The last one is multi-layer rendering. Multi-layer image-based rendering system that can use different types of input to produce and render new environments. Each separate input that can be manipulated independently is called a layer.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Aliff bin Nawawi, matrix number 09DRG23F1043, and today I'm going to be presenting about types of background and techniques. The first one is blending. Blending involves mixing and blurring colors or shades together to craft a smooth result. While this gradual transition can be challenging at first, it's essential for recreating everyday texture. Next is sponging. Sponging is one of the quicker creative effects to apply. With sponge-on painting, you apply a wash or glaze over a base coat with a dampened sponge. Next is dry brushing. Dry brush is a painting technique in which a paintbrush that is relatively dry but still holds paint is used to create a drawing or painting. Masking. Masking art. Masking in art is the use of material to protect areas of a work of art from challenge or to concentrate change on other areas. It can be used in drawings, painting, and digital arts. Okay, next up is background. Gradient, a subtle approach that can be radial or linear. The direction of the gradient can affect where the audience's focus is. White background, a common choice for 3D product renders because it's natural and doesn't distract from the product. Solid colors background, can be black like blue, yellow, pastel pink, red or green. Texture background, a 2D or 3D or environmental texture that can be used to create a 3D background.
Last one is conclusion. The conclusion for materials and tools is that it is important that we choose items and media that are appropriate to the way we present our sketches or drawings. In addition, it is important to choose items with good materials because the quality of the goods varies according to their own price. Furthermore, it can also affect the quality of the color and shading as well. The next one is sketching. The conclusion for sketching is that it is important to understand its technique in presenting its own sketch. Furthermore, techniques in sketching are also important to help clients understand the product or proposal that they want to share with them. It has an impact on their eyes because they need to understand visually and not just a contract on paper.
Okay, now let's head into the conclusions. In conclusion, rendering techniques in art play a pivotal role in bringing visual concepts to life by adding depth, texture, and emotion to a piece. Whether in traditional media like paintings and drawing or digital art, rendering allows artists to transform flat two-dimensional surface into dynamic, visually engaging works. Next up is conclusion about color in rendering techniques. In conclusion, color in rendering techniques is a powerful tool that significantly influences the mood, depth, and overall impact of a piece of art. Whether used to enhance realism or to create realistic expression, color serves both a technical and emotional purpose. And then lastly, in conclusion, the choice of background and rendering techniques in art plays a crucial role in shaping the overall composition and narrative of a piece. Background, whether detailed or minimal, serves to set context and enhance the focal point, helping to create depth and perspective. Techniques like gradient shading, atmospheric perspective, and blurring can be employed to make backgrounds appear more realistic or to achieve a specific mood. That's all from me. Thank you very much.